Hello everybody, it's Ed here from Metric Mogul, and today we are going to be building your very own enhanced e-commerce dashboard. Now this dashboard is completely free. It's got all the features you'd expect of a good dashboard, so you can select date ranges, and all the data is dynamically pulled from Google Analytics and it updates automatically. So what more could you want? So first of all, I'm going to give you a quick tour of the dashboard. So we've got sessions, we've got product detail views. Now remember, this is all to do with my fake food website, which has 3 products. So this is the website on which this dashboard is built. Sorry, it's where the data is coming from, not what it's built on. So we've got the number of times products have been viewed. We've got the number of times if someone views a product, what percentage of them get added to the cart. No one's bought anything, so those are all 0, but they would be populated if someone had bought something. Then we've got a little product performance. So of our 3 products that are on the site, I can see whether they contain meat or not. If you see my previous tutorials, you will know that that is like a custom dimension example that we can break data down by. We can see that the pasta bake is by far the most popular product, and it's accounting for the majority of the views. But the roast chicken is added to the cart more often, so perhaps, although this is the popular one, this one needs promoting because it's doing very well. And then we've got this two graphs here which show product detail views against cart to detail ratio. Now I really like these graphs. I use them with my clients because ideally the more product views you have, the cart to detail ratio shouldn't really change. It should be level, but this product here is not doing very well. It's got a low number of views and a low cart to detail ratio. So potentially the merchandising team need to look at promoting that and then also working out why people are not adding it to their cart. The same goes for this. This is just the same report as over here, except the brand products are now grouped by brand. Oh, and up here, each of my products can be microwaved or not. So again, if you see my various videos, pasta bake can be microwaved, roast chicken can't, and sausage and mash can. So this is just telling me of all the add to carts that happened, 9 were for microwavable products and 3 were for oven products. All right. So that is the dashboard. I'm now going to show you, well, let me just select today, because you'll then see some comparison metrics turn up. There we go. So you do get a sense of, since yesterday we've had a 200% increase, and you know, marketers like to see that kind of comparison information. All right. So how do we build this? Well, first of all, it's built using Data Studio on Google. So you're going to need that. It's free, but you can go to datastudio.google.com and sign up. And also, you're going to need to have implemented Enhanced Ecommerce. And I don't just mean tracking conversions. I also mean tracking product detail views, product list clicks, product impressions, and you can see how to do that on my previous tutorials. I'm not going to go into that. I'm going to assume you have all the data within GA. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to head over to Data Studio right now. Okay, and I'm going to create a blank report. All right. So first of all, we need to create a new data source. So you'll have these ones. I've already got my Foodio one set up here, but you won't have this. So I'm going to show you how you do that. So you'd come over to create new data source, select Google Analytics, and again, you probably won't have all of these accounts, but I'm going to select mine, select the correct view, connect to it, and there we go. That'll show you all the data that comes from that property. Once you're ready, click Add to Report, and there we go. All right. So next up, give your your reporter name, product performance. I'm going to call it Metric Mogul. There we go. And I'm going to rotate this. So go to report and theme settings by right clicking, layout, and rotate. So just get a nice landscape view there. All right. So first up, if we look back at my one, we're going to start very simply with the page title. So click the text button. You're going to drag out a text. I'm going to write product performance like that. Oh, spelling atrocious. And we're going to come over to this panel, give it a bit of size. There we go, that'll do. All right, so we've got that, and now we're going to select the date range icon. I'm going to draw a little date range in. Excellent. And head over to data, and for the moment, I'm just going to select the last 7 days and include today. All right, give that position so it looks nice. Excellent. All right, so there we are. Next step, we're going to create this block here, this big block of high-level metrics. So first of all, draw out a rectangle, which is going to be your block, which is going to contain all this data, and we want it to be a white background, and we're going to give it a black border. Ta-da! All right. Next, we want scorecards. Scorecards are these blocks here. So hit the scorecard, drag one out, and there we go. We've got sessions. You'll want to select, when you go to data, you want to select, you come down here into the default date range. Leave it on auto because that means it'll use whatever date range is selected in your date range chooser. But if you want some comparisons, then you're going to want to select previous period or previous year. That'll give you the comparison metric underneath. Okay, so this is a bit small, so I'm just going to make it a tad bigger. Bring it down like that. Perfect. Right, so there's sessions. I'm going to copy that by hitting Command C and Command V to paste it. And the next one up, we've got product detail views. So come back over to here, come to data. We've already got your data source selected. So come down to metrics and hit the search icon, and I'm going to go product detail views, just like that. See, it's very, very simple once you get the hang of it. I'm going to copy it again. All right, what do we have next? We have cart to detail ratio. Add that in. Fantastic. Next one up. Buy to detail ratio. Don't worry too much about the spacing. We're going to space these out a bit better in a minute. Now, all these metrics are available if you've implemented Enhanced Ecommerce, but a lot of people haven't, and this is kind of why I tend to go on about Enhanced Ecommerce quite a lot, because I think it's a really great feature of GA, and hardly anyone has got it implemented. Most people just track transactions, but this won't give you these numbers here. And these numbers, I think, if you run an e-commerce site, they're pretty useful, because otherwise, you know, if someone's bought something, well, yeah, it tells you they bought it. But what about all the products that someone nearly bought and didn't? That's the kind of stuff you need to know about. Right, rant over. All right, e-commerce conversion rate, and the final one. Let's slot that into place. What have we got? We've got revenue. And you want actual total revenue, not any of those. Okay, perfect. Once you've got those, just going to make to line them up a bit better. I'm just going to position this one. Select them all, holding the Shift key. You're going to right click and go to distribute horizontally. I'll space them out a bit better. Now the trouble is there's a bit of a bug here in that this text overruns. That I don't think we can change it. I've had a look at some of the options, but I don't think that's possible to change. The only thing you could do is hide the metric name and then create your own text label and put it on there, but I can't be bothered to do that. So we'll just assume that you're happy with that. All right. One thing I forgot to do is change the background. So I've got a nice grey background to make everything stand up. So again, if you right click on the page, go to current page settings, and you can select whatever color you would like. Let's do a, that's disgusting. All right. This is why I stick with grey. All right, there we go. Don't worry about the grid. If you hit this edit toggle up here, you'll see what it looks like when it's all finalized. So the grid will automatically disappear. Right, next up, we're going to create this table. So hit the table button. Where is it? There we go, table. Drag it up. Use the grid lines to help you space things. So if you notice, I'm trying to keep a two square gap between all my components to make things look nice. And this is going to show us the products, what products people are looking at on the website. So again, head over to data. Now the dimension is going to be product name, but obviously it's just called product within GA. And we've got contains meat. Obviously you won't have contains meat, so you might want to put on something else like brand, for example. There we go. Okay. Now you'll notice you get a configuration here. This is because our metric is sessions, and sessions, these two dimensions are product dimensions. They're product scope, and so you can't put this sessions metric with it. It doesn't work. So instead, let's change this to some of the e-commerce metrics. Product detail views is one of them. So there we go. That looks a lot better now. And what else are we going to do? Well, we also want kind of the same information as above. So we want detail, buy to detail rate, and also going to add cart to detail rate. And one more column, let's add product revenue, so we know how much people are spending on each of these products. All right, there we go. Give it a background by going to Style, by selecting Table, going to Style, and come down, and we're just going to give it a white background and with a black border. All right, how's that looking? Pretty good. Pretty good. Now you'll notice undefined here. That's because I sent in some bad data to my GA, but that is not a problem. We're going to get rid of that now. So click back on the table, head to Data, and come down here to Table Filter. Add a filter. The dimension we want to filter is product, and we're going to exclude anything equal to undefined. There we go. Done. Page refreshes, and bash, our stuff has gone. Let's sort these columns out, make it look a bit neater. You'll notice this text again is being cut off, so you can change that in Style, Wrap Text. There we go. Slightly neater. I mean, it's still, oops, it's not perfect, but there we go. You know, it's a free tool. What can you say? I think it's as good as Tableau. Oh no, I didn't say that. So yeah, I mean, Data Studio is pretty good. It's going in the right direction. There are a few things you can't do, such as well, no, do you know what? I'm not going to get into that. There's advantages of using this, and there's advantages of Tableau. Tableau is obviously much more powerful, but this has very good integration with Google Analytics, and you can really customize your layout, whereas Tableau is quite specific. Tableau's also got loads more visualization than this has. Anyway, I don't know why I've started talking about that. That is not the point of this video. The point of the video is just to give you an idea of what this can do. Okay, so let's have a little preview. All right, we're looking good. Looking good. Now, you might have noticed I've got some bars here. So the way you do that is, again, you click on the table, oops, go to Style, and you've got these 4 columns, so these metrics, and you want to do, you can do a heat map, which you might like, but I prefer the bar, so I'm going to select bars, and I like to see the numbers as well. because you know, you never know, people might want those useful for analysis. Oops, and I'm going to leave revenue just as a number. We don't really care what that is. All right, and let's stretch it out. Awesome. You'll have to play around with the column settings, but pretty easy to do. Right, next up we have our this little thing. So essentially here, what we're showing is add to carts for various categories of products. Now you probably won't have microwave or non-microwave, so you may have two product categories which you're very interested in. So I'm going to show you how to do this bit. So first up, again, I'm going to leave a 2 square pixel between the two things, put it in a rectangle. I'm going to give it a white background with a black border. Make sure it lines up so it looks neat. And again, we're going to do another scorecard metric. And this scorecard is going to be this the add to carts, product add to carts metric. There we go. So we've got the first one in there. Now, I've got a dimension that I've created called can micro. Now, you probably won't have this. Obviously, you may not even have any custom dimensions. So you could potentially use brand. You know, you could just show a particular brand, but in my case, I'm going to do can micro. Or you could do, you know, you just look at a particular city, whatever. You can do whatever you want. But in my case, I want to include can micro equals true. Okay, let's shoot that off. I'm going to hit the image as well. I want a little image of my microwave. I'm going to select the file. Got the microwave coming in. In it goes. I'm just going to give myself a little bit more space. Just like that. Yeah, again, it's a bit annoying that the Google, if you're listening, I would love to have a chat with you. Please, can you make these scorecard metrics wrappable? I might have missed it. It might be available somewhere, but I can't see it. It'd be nice to have these, to make these wrappable. All right, so that's done. I'm going to select both of those, copy and paste them both, put them in there. And this one is going to be the opposite of the one above, so not can't microwave. We've got can micro equals true, but I'm going to put can micro equals false for this one. And I'm going to change my microwave to a picture of an oven. There we go. Again, I'm not really happy about the formatting, so I'm going to change things up a bit. Select all those, move them to the left. Awesome. All right, it's beginning to look pretty good. I noticed on the other one I've got a... Oh, do you know what? I've actually done it slightly different. Here I just had a number without the metric. So this is what I actually did. I hid the metric and I created a new bit of text called product add to carts, like that. Centered that, make it a bit bigger. There we go. You get the idea. You can lay it out however you want. All right, I'll leave it at that. Okay, again, if you want your comparison on, then make sure you come into the default date range within data and select previous period, because that will give us something to compare it on. I'm going to select today's date. Let's do today, just to prove it's working. All right, there we go. Now we've got some comparisons. Okay, next up, we have the two graphs. I'm sure you're getting the hang of this by now. So next up, we're going to build these two, the carts detail against product views for each product. So drag in a scatter chart. In it goes. The data source is still the main. You can obviously combine multiple data sources, so you don't have to pull all the data from one GA property or view. You could have multiple websites and have a dashboard that shows all of them if you want. But mine's just a simple site, so I'm going to keep it as such. So product is the dimension. On the x-axis, I want how many times this product has been seen. The good old product detail views metric. It's classic, I love it. And on the y-axis, we're going to do what was it? Detail, cart to detail rate. So this is how many people have seen it and then add it to the cart. Head over to the style tab, give it a bit of a white background. As always, black border, no changes there. And we also, if you do a scatter graph, if you haven't got too many points, at the moment you'll see that you don't know what these are, so you have to hover over to work out what they are. Because I haven't got too many products, I can get away with actually putting the labels on the chart, which is under here, show data labels. So that's fine. Again, we've got to get rid of this undefined down here, so I'm going to do that exactly the same way as I did before. Go down to add a filter, exclude product equal to undefined. Off we go. All right, that's gone. Copy this, paste it. I'm going to bring it over to this side. Let's make this a bit bigger. So they kind of look like the same size, or they will be exactly the same size now. And this one is exactly the same, except instead of product, we're breaking this down by brand. But you could do category, you could do SKU, you could do any of the other dimensions related to enhanced e-commerce that you are tracking. Again, you can see my previous videos for how we did all that. Oops, didn't want to do that. Okay, again, you can put on a comparison here again, as with everything. So it's always good to have a comparison when you're doing analysis, so you know what you know if you made an improvement or not. So let's have a look. Apply this to today. There we go. So yesterday, roast chicken had a much better add to cart ratio than now, and it's right down here. Again, I wouldn't recommend putting on that comparison if you've got loads of bubbles, because everything will get very confusing. So in fact, I might take it off because it's a bit confusing. Oh, do you know what? I'm going to leave it for now. You can deal with that. If you want to change the colors, then just again, as with everything, it's always under here, under the style tab. Okay, let's make these green for some reason. Awesome. So there it is. We have built our dashboard, and if we want to share it, it's very simple. You can just hit the share button. You type in the email address of someone you'd like to share to. Make sure they can just view it, not edit it. Otherwise, they would change your work unless you're sharing it with a colleague who you want to share. And once you've got that link, so here's my link. I can then give this to anyone, and they can come and view my dashboard when it loads. There we go. So they can view it, you can share it around in your office. How much better is that than sending around Excel files to all your colleagues? Send them this link, they'll be able to check it every day, refresh the data. And I should also mention that you can add more pages. So if you go back to editing, I can do add new page, and this will add a second page like so. Obviously you could do more charts and whatever, and then they can flip through the different pages of the report. So there it is. I hope you found that useful. Head over to datastudio.google.com and get started on your own dashboard.